details worked out before the application process goes in. I want to say this. I don't trust Honeywell. Now, I'll tell you why. I know they had a nuclear release 3 months ago and didn't report it to the NRC. I know that in September they had to shut them down a little bit because suddenly the urine test started showing uranium in some of the employees. I know that they had an HF release and they pumped 62,000 gallons of water in the air to shut that stuff down, and it didn't run in the parking lot, it went somewhere. Now, I live close. Hydrofluoric acid is terrible stuff. We live here. You guys are from Springfield and up north, and I know it's a job. Honeywell ought to be here. They ought to be. Yes. But they're not, because the way to diffuse it is not to be there. The end result is this. If you want to run and make everybody here feel better and be online with what you want to do, they've got to do 2 or 3 things. One, answer the questions straight up. And you're doing the best you can. I know you are. All of you are professionals, and you're doing what you've got to do. But number 2, finish the permit application. Let everybody look at it. Let everybody mull it over and come to the realization, yes, this is safe for my children and my family. And if they can't come to that realization, then let's reevaluate it and see what it is. Explore the alternatives about cost. It's not just about cost. Sometimes the cheapest way is the best way. But put it all out there and let everybody know all the facts and then make up their mind. That's all they want. That's all I want. You guys, you've got a job to do, and you're trying to do the best you can with the situation, and you just happen to be in a bad spot right here. But having said all that, these are all valid questions. There is no one, absolutely no one on the face of this earth that knows more about the operation and the dangers at that plant than those people right there. Nobody. Management they want to maximize profits. And sometimes, when we talk about cradle to death, right, you know what happens? They get a slick lawyer. And what's the lawyer do? He declares bankruptcy for the corporation, transfers the assets, moves them out. That company no longer exists. Who suffers? The American taxpayer. We pick up the tab to fix because somebody wanted to make money. There's no faith in Honeywell acting in their best interest. They lost that when they didn't report the release to the NRC. They lost that when they got cited by the NRC for lying to the news media. They lost that when that water didn't run in the parking lot like it should. They've got some public relations problems that they need to mend if they're going to be a partner with the community here. That's all there is to it. Yeah. And they should, and I know what the permit application is like with EPA because the coal mines go through the same thing. They should have that in place almost in its entirety with the mix that you all are going to pour on that stuff. That sounds feasible to me. You're taking a semi-solid, making it solid, and then it's not going to dilute. Well, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. But I'm not a biologist or a geologist or a chemist. Let them look at it. Let the labs look at it. And the gentleman that was talking about us not exporting our waste to somewhere else, well, maybe, just maybe, they know something in other places. Why are we shipping all this waste to Yucca Mountain if we can take care of it encapsulating it in the tropics? Now that's what I've got to say.
I'm going to add a quick clarification. Tell me to stop if I wander off the path into the ditch. But you're asking treatability tests.
Right.
I think a better way to classify what Matt is saying is treatability tests were done on the material. The portion that needs to be done is to optimize that, come up with the precise numbers. We wouldn't have started down the pathway if there wasn't some treatability data to basically say there's value in going down this pathway.
Why not do that and then put that in the application so it's there? So anybody, any chemist can go, oh, let's try that and see if it works. I mean, full disclosure is the solution here. Because when there isn't, I mean, you're not done with something and you're rushing it and they're going, oh, they said by 2020 this would be taken care of. We're in 2011 and the permit application comment time ends in 2 weeks.
Yeah. 60 days.
You know, what's going on? I mean, it makes, you know, I'm not totally trustworthy of government these days.
Really?
But I trust you guys. You guys got families. You're not going to do something that's going to kill all of us. I know that.
Right, and you know, so what we've done is we've taken a look at the stabilization. We figured out, okay, in order to make this design stable, and we talked about the seismic events before, in order to make it stable against the seismic event to show you're absolutely not going to have a problem, you need to achieve a certain strength in this material.
See, that went back to the contingency thing I asked you about.
Well,
that's one of the contingencies that you consider. You should have told us that.
Sure, we looked at these things. This is all, and this is again all in the application. And I think we've done a fairly open job of trying to present all this information in the application. And we look at it to see the logic.
About to explain to y'all what this is about.
Yeah.
No, there is somebody in there.
Is there?
Yeah. They won't be building those, they won't have the, you know, all this dirt, all this land be tied up with this stuff.
Sites have been shut using this machine.
I don't have any.
Oh,
Got all four of us, Mara and myself, Jerry back here, all
Yeah.
It'll be gone for 30 years. Somebody else's problem then.
We done went over it. This is 2010. That's 2009.
So we're just prepared for whoever's, do I need to, yeah, you're welcome to sign in and just, you know, and ask questions or.
You want me to see like a question? And there hasn't been any signs of any leakage or
even though, you know, my concern was they may be small tremors indeed, but even with that constant shaking, there's not any leaking
not anything that we've been able to see in the cover system is been designed and stabilization design.
So why wasn't there, and then you have to go to the library why can't you make, you know, so
Oh,
many-
it's available to the public.
Well, what, you know, I mean, the fact is that I was told when I requested a copy that I would have to go to the library. I wasn't provided with a copy that I could look at home. And I was satisfied with getting an electronic copy, and I was told that an electronic copy wasn't available. Is that true?
I guess I don't know if we know if there was or was not a decision to have
I
elections.
mean, yeah, IAPA requires a hard copy be available and we post it in a community area.
But
that
when
has
a
pre-designated.
citizen requests a copy, and then why don't you provide them with a copy?
You can make that request. I didn't.
I
realize you had
did make the
requested
request,
to IAPA.
and I was told that, and I was told that I would get an electronic copy, and then I was told a couple days later that an electronic copy wasn't available, and no offer was made to give me a hard copy, and I was told that the only option that I had was to go to the library. And that's kind of inconvenient because, you know, I don't work here in Metropolis, I work in Paducah, and from where I live, it's kind of off the beaten path, and I didn't have a lot of time to come to Metropolis and spend a lot of time, but if I could have gotten it at home, I would have looked through it.
Well, you're welcome to submit the request directly to Honeywell from that email address that's on the presentation, and there's, you know.
Well, apparently, the representative from the Illinois EPA, Mara McGinnis, made a request to Honeywell on my behalf.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm not aware of
Honeywell told them that an electronic copy wasn't available, and I have this all in writing.
that. Okay.
So I just wonder why. Did you do it on manual typewriters or something? I mean, surely it was done on a computer, right? So why wasn't an electronic copy available?
It's not a requirement, but I wasn't aware of your request. You're welcome to submit, like I said, directly to Honeywell, and I don't know why they decided not to provide an electronic copy.
Okay.
These questions that we have,
Okay.
would it not be more fair to the people that are here if you're going to take a question to answer it in front of everybody? I mean, we can bring everybody over here and ask a question, but I mean, you've got a area set up for an audience. We have questions that I think it would help everybody to hear the answers. So, I mean, is that something that you guys can do tonight, or do we all just need to mob over here and ask? I mean,
Yeah, well, we weren't intending to have a public presentation. I mean, a presentation with a, list of Q&A, but you can come over and ask questions, or you can send the questions in via email, and we can make those available after the meeting as well.
Okay.
So that's an option.
Well, the people that are here
I don't know what type
tonight,
of questions people have.
well, I mean, they're technical. I mean, a lot of the people here work at that point.
Okay.
And so a lot of people here have a good knowledge of what's going on out there and what goes on at EPF. We've got workers here that have worked at EPF for several years, and the kind of questions that they have and the answers, it would be good for everybody to hear. And so that's why I was asking, can we, I mean, do you want us all to come over here, or, can we sit over there and ask questions of you?
I guess that's fine. We can come over and
Okay.
you can ask questions, and then if we're able to answer, one of the four of us can try and answer.
Well,
And
we
if
don't
we
have-
If
we
we can't
don't- I
answer,
mean-
we can just take note of the question and or you can submit to the email address. So that's fine.
Okay.
If
I
that
think
works better for you guys.
we do. I mean, we came tonight with the expectation of being able to ask some questions and get some public
Further
answers.
information.
Yeah, to be able to get some hard commitments on some of these answers, and so and it would everyone that's here wants the same information. So I mean, it's y'all's show. I'm just asking, should we, the group of us that all have questions, come over here at one time, or would you rather us wait until you're ready?
No, I mean, we can come and stand over there if you want to
Okay.
ask
I mean,
questions
it's-
that way. It's fine. I mean, if we know the answers, we can provide it based
Okay.
on what's been submitted, and if we don't, we can take note of that.
Okay.
Okay, folks, here's how it's going to happen for you. These four individuals are going to answer your questions, and they'll take the time to explain them fully to you.